What is up, everybody? Welcome back, or welcome to Optimal Self Live. Hope you guys are having a wonderful, wonderful day wherever you are and whenever you are stumbling upon today's episode. Appreciate you being here. I hope this new year, the start of this year, is really serving you well, and you are on that journey of being the best version of you. And today I want to bring something to light. It's something I ran across a few weeks ago within a podcast and doing some stuff. And it is a thing called Goodhart's Law. And what is Goodhart's Law? Well, I'm going to give you the clinical definition, and then I want to talk to you about how it is and how it can affect you. Okay? So Goodhart's Law says this: it's when a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be the good measure. And now, what does that have to do with us, and how does that affect us in our lives and us being the best version of ourselves? Well, here's what I want you to think about. I'm going to give you a couple scenarios. First is education. So Goodhart's Law, in the fact when the measure becomes a target and it ceases to be the good measure, right, is that in education, so when it's no longer about learning, it's about getting a good grade. So at some point for most of us in our lives, that happened, right? It became less about learning and getting a true education and really feeding our minds with things that are going to help us in life, right? They don't teach you about money. They don't teach you about compound interest. They don't teach you about the things that are truly going to help you. They don't, because it's not about learning. It's about getting a grade. And so what ends up happening to most of us, most people, is our lives, when it comes to learning or it comes to education, we start to push back. And we start to push back because that's not what we were taught. We didn't understand that we should be reading and learning and growing our minds. And that is truly how we create the best world for ourselves. That's how we really, truly create our optimal self. The best version of us is through constant learning. But the word learning is now gone, because what happened at some point in our lives is it went from less about that and it just became about getting a grade. I am so guilty of that. Most of especially as you get into higher education, it's all you focus on, right? Is just getting the grade. And that is such a horrible way. Our education system it's broken, in my opinion, in that way, because we're not really truly embracing and teaching our children to learn and get this great appetite for it. What we're doing is saying, get a good grade, right? When you bring home that report card, what does it say? We never ask them, what are you learning? We never ask them, like, okay, you got a C, but what'd you learn? What'd you get out of that class? What's the education? What are you taking with you? We just say, oh, that's not good enough. Go get an A. And then we just determine, how do we get an A? We don't even care about learning. We don't care about absorbing knowledge. We don't care about it being better for us or putting us on a path to success. We just care about the grade. That's part of Goodhart's Law. Number two, I want to share with you today is a term. We're the most obese country in the planet, right? In the world. And so weight loss is a big deal. And so again, what Goodhart's Law is saying, when the measure becomes the target, so it's no longer about being healthy. It's about a number on a scale. So now all we do is stand on that scale and we chase a number, as opposed to really, truly trying to be healthy. And so guess what ends up happening? That we end up being even more unhealthy because we're just chasing a number, as opposed to wanting to be healthy and really, truly hydrating, really, truly getting the nutrients that are fueling my brain, that are fueling my body, so that I can fight disease, so that I can fight illness, so that I can live and my body can run optimally. It now just becomes a number on a scale. This is the problem in general, is when we start to, when the measure becomes the target, It's no longer a good measure. It's not about a number on a scale. It's about being healthy. It's not about the grade you got. It's about learning. And so if we can now reprogram ourselves to understand, just in those two cases alone, those are two of many, many, many cases that we could go over, that this affects our lives. And it, again, we had this one. If you haven't heard it, go back to listen to conditioning, right? We have to recondition ourselves. We have to reframe our thinking. We have to look at it from a different angle. But when we understand where it's coming from, that our learning process, look, that's been ingrained in us since we were kids. It's the education system of America. Just go get a good grade. It doesn't matter what you learn. And now we're stuck on trying to get this grade, and then we don't even want to learn anymore. We can't wait to be done with that. When the truth is, look up the statistics, that the average millionaire reads like 32 books a year, right? That Warren Buffett, like the first so many minutes or hours of his day is only in reading. Again, because it's the learning and it's the education. But we push it away today, because when we were kids or when we were growing up and when it was learned behavior, is what we learned about learning is it's not about learning. It's about the grade. It's not about education. We have to change that. We have to change our conditioning. We have to change what that looks like, right? We have to be able to start to create the best version of and use Goodhart's law to our advantage, to understand the moment that the measure becomes a target, I know that I got to switch. I got to get it back together. Because remember, the object of the goal is not the outcome. It's to teach us how to be appropriate in the moments that matter most in our lives. That's what the goal is. The best version of you being the best version. It's not about a goal. Like it's not a destination we're going to reach. It's a journey. And on that journey, it's about teaching ourselves how to be appropriate in the moments of our lives. It's about who you become in the process. Yeah, we got to have targets. Yeah, we got to have goals, but we can't make that measure. We can't have that be the sole target. We have to do a better job. We have to get back to learning. We have to get back to being healthy. Those need to be our goals. Those needs to be the reason. Yeah, you can shoot for a number on a scale, not for the number, for the health and the longevity that it's going to provide, so that you're going to get to run around with your kids. You're going to have a better active life, right? It's not about even learning, finding that passion for learning so that you can build the best life for yourself, for your family. That's where it's at. So that you can teach learning, so that you can leave that type of generational habit. That's where we have to get back to. Because here it is. Because the best version of you is our ability to be appropriate in the moment. And then we string powerful, positive decisions, one after another, after another. It's the same things that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits, is that habit, when it actually has a reward and it's positive, I'll do it again and I'll do it again. Well, how do I create the best version of me? I have integrity to what I say I'm going to do. And then I do that. And then I do it again. And I do it again. And when the tough decision comes, I make the right decision. I know what the right decision is. Should I stay out late? Should I have that another drink? Or should I get home so I get the proper sleep, so I can get up, so I can start my day, so I can not lay in bed and wish for goals, but I can get my ass out of bed and I can chase my goals and I can make them happen. That's the difference. It's those decisions. But those are positive, powerful decisions. And when you make one after another, and after another, that starts to be your habit. And that journey of your life, that optimal self, becomes you. You get to be the best version of you. And in turn, you inspire others to do the same. Boom. Woo, I love it today. I love it. I love when I heard it. I love when I felt it. I wrote a bunch of things down and I just wanted to marinate on it for a few days. And I hope you got something out of today, and understanding that it's not about the measure, right? The measure can't be the target. Figure out what it is. Get on that journey. Be the best version of you. All right? As always, jump on over optimalself.today, wherever you're at. If you're on Facebook right now, please subscribe, right? Join us. Come on. If you like, comment, share. If you're on YouTube right now, again, subscribe to the channel so you get notifications, so you can have it. Share it with your friends. You leave us a comment. We love it. All right? And as always, jump over to the podcast. We need your rating. We need your reviews. It's growing like crazy, but we need your help. So get out there and be the best version of you.